You are listening to Naked Soul Reflections, Mindful Moments for Clothes-Free Living, with your host, Hantu Nehart.
Greetings, everyone. Hantu Nehart here, and welcome to another episode of Naked Soul Reflection. This week, I want to share on being willing to just make mistakes. I want to invite that for you and for me. And what brought this up was a situation at work. I had been trying to assist colleagues in getting their staffing set up for their various teams. And for the past, I guess, almost a year now, maybe 10 months, I've been working with various teams because they were going to have people leaving and they wanted to deal with smooth transitions and just avoid not having a full team available. They wanted to make sure there were bodies in all of the team spaces at all times, even while going through the process of people leaving and having to recruit back in. And so I met with them, and this was happening on several teams. I met with them, talked with them about their needs, and then got approval to try out some different ideas to see if it would help ease their transitions. And so this went on for, again, it's been about 10 months between various teams. And this past week, I realized that the idea that I had didn't really work out so well. Things weren't moving fluidly and quickly or efficiently, and we were kind of losing the fire and the inspiration behind it for people to that have that impetus to go ahead and hire and fill those empty spaces and move everything along. All of these sort of workarounds and trying to make things easy actually got in the way of things moving fluidly. And this past week, as I sat back and realized that, I started to feel really bad. I felt guilty for, making this mistake. I thought, surely I thought that this plan would work, but in none of the cases did it work out. Everyone's kind of dragging their feet, or things just aren't moving fast enough, and now there are all these other issues happening. And I felt really guilty. I was like, this is all my fault. I really messed this up, and I'm never going to do it this way again. So I felt bad about that for a while. But this weekend, during my downtime, I allowed myself to see the positive side of this. For one, even though I don't actually manage directly any of those teams, all of the ideas that I had got approved because the people who approved them thought they were good as well. And so the positive thing is that I saw a problem and then I came up with a solution. I came up with something to try. I didn't just sit back, wait, or leave people out there and whatnot. I didn't stay silent. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I'll stay silent rather than share my opinion or my idea. And that's for so many different reasons. I might not think that my opinion or my idea is good. I might not think I have any business talking. Who knows? There could be a lot of different reasons. But I don't often open my mouth and share my ideas. So this time I decided to meet with people make myself available to them, listen, ascertain the situation, and come up with something to try. And did it work out? No, it didn't work. But at least I was willing to try something. And I'm really working with this, and I want you to as well. There's something powerful about being willing to try rather than sitting back and being inactive and inert, actually cooking up something and saying, okay, so I see an issue. If I dare say this, for those who live in the United States, as you know, TSA will often say, if you see something, say something. So I saw, and usually I never do that. I just never speak up. But this time I saw something, and at least I addressed it in some way. And I could have never depicted that things would turn out the way that they did, but that was a learning process. But the most wonderful part is that I actually took a chance and tried something. And I don't often do that, actually. I don't often really take chances like that. I usually play it safe, kind of the sideline, I can kind of see where things might go, and I want to avoid catastrophe. But this time, I took a chance, and it didn't work out, and that's okay, because I still took a chance, and I now am calling on lots of people for help to get everyone sorted out and everything sorted. But I want to invite that for you. Is there some place in your life where you're afraid to speak up or do something because you're afraid of making a mistake? Listen, I have plenty of these places in my life. That was just one example, one area of my life where I was like, okay, I'm going to try something, take action, and it didn't work out that way, and that's okay. But is there a place in your life where you haven't taken action because you're afraid to speak up, do something, make a mistake, look like an idiot, whatever? Is there something? I bet there is, because there's usually one thing that we avoid or don't do. So take some time with that question. Maybe sit back and think about it. And this week, I want you to be with that question. You may or may not do something about it, depending on the issue. It might take a long time to figure out what to do. If there's something you wanted to say to someone, something you wanted to do but didn't, or you didn't say it, or whatever, just... Even if it's like, you wanted to say hi to the stranger on the sidewalk, but you didn't. Or you wanted to text a family member, but you didn't. Or you weren't sure if the thing you were going to say was going to, freak someone out or make them angry, and so you just said nothing. But that fear of ruining something or messing it up or making a mistake, is that present somewhere in your life? And just be with that this week. And if possible, think of one way that you can take some kind of action. It doesn't have to be this huge, grand thing, and it could be, it could very well be a huge move. But maybe it's something simple. Maybe you do send that message or say hi to that person or have a conversation with your boss or your child or maybe you have a conversation with your pet and you finally tell it, no, you can't pee in the kitchen. I'm actually going to put my foot down and we're going to do this potty training thing for the pet. And so just think of one thing. And just take some kind of action. There's something that a number of naturists and nudists say people in the clothes free community will say, I'll see this, that question comes up. So how do I start like living clothes free? Or how do I start like this, that, or the other? And it's like, well, just take your clothes off and like read a book or something. And they're like, there's not a whole lot of leading up to it and test taking or anything like that. They're like, just take your clothes off and chill. And I like that attitude when it comes to things like, being afraid to make a mistake, like, or being afraid of doing it wrong, or like just the thing not working out. And that idea of, okay, just do it, just take some action, like with the whole clothes free thing. Just take your clothes off and read a book and just see how you feel. And I just like that. I love that simplicity. Just go send the message to the person, or go have a conversation with your pet or your boss. Or whatever that one action, something simple could be. Just do it and see what happens. And if possible, and this might be a big ask, if possible, can you take the action and, if possible, leave it out of the good-bad continuum? All right? If possible. This is what I wrestled with personally. It's like, oh, I'm such a horrible person, I messed this up, I'm incompetent, blah, blah, blah. But actually, that's not true. I'm not a horrible person. Yes, I made a mistake, but I took action. I'm a person of action, as opposed to sitting back and just being like, oh, well. Can you be proud of the fact that you're taking an action, even if it's simple, and leave the results, the good and bad of it, the right and wrong of it aside, and just be proud of yourself for taking an action? So take that on this week. Pick one simple thing, take an action, even if it freaks you out. Even if you're afraid that you'll fail. And just let the rest be. But yes, as always, I'm going to be doing the same exact work as you. And my heart is with you. Namaste.